So I was talking to my Aunt Debbie today, and she started telling me this story about how a few weeks ago she had gotten out of the house and went to get into the car. And basically, there was this guy mowing the lawn, the neighbor's lawn, and he was like a 50-year-old guy. He seemed homeless, and he came over and started talking to my Aunt Debbie and asked her if he could mow her lawn. And Debbie kind of had sympathy for him because he seemed homeless and, So she was like, yeah, you can mow my lawn, but only the back because the front was like really messy, really tall grass, and So she hands him a 20 and she leaves. Before she leaves, she asks him, hey, you're actually gonna mow it, right? And he was like, yup, he was very enthusiastic about it. And when she comes back, sure enough, the backyard is mowed. So she goes inside and, starts watching the Olympics and stuff. And the next day, she sees him again. And he says he wants to mow the front lawn too. So she goes into her pocketbook and she only has a 10. So she hands him the 10 and she says, hey, I'll give you a 10 now and I'll give you another 10 tomorrow. And he's like, okay, I'll come back tomorrow at 5 and you can give me the other 10. So he mows the lawn and he leaves. Okay, so I forgot to mention this part, but this time when he's mowing the front lawn, he doesn't have his lawnmower, so he borrows my aunt's. And he talks her head off. He talks about how he got hit by a car and he had to go to the hospital, and when he came back his lawnmower was stolen. It was crazy. He had also mentioned how he was from Louisiana, and his mother died, so he didn't have anyone. But anyway, he mows the lawn basically. And so he leaves, and Debbie makes sure to be home early so that, she could give this guy his extra money. So 5 o'clock rolls around and he's not there. 6 o'clock rolls around, not there. 7, 8, 9, 10, and he's not here. And around 10:30, the doorbell rings, and it's not just a regular, ring ring. He's spamming the doorbell. And at this point, Aunt Debbie is just pissed off. He doesn't want to, talk to this guy. So she doesn't answer the door. But this guy does not let up. He rings the doorbell. He keeps spamming the doorbell, and it goes on for half an hour. And it gets to the point where Debbie's about to call the police just to get this guy off of her front porch. But after about 45 minutes of spamming the doorbell, he finally leaves. And then the next day, he shows up around 9 a.m. in the morning. And Debbie is like, where were you yesterday? You said 5. And he says, oh, I was busy. I came back later in the day. And she says, oh, I wasn't here later, which was obviously a lie. And she hands this guy the other 10, finally. And he's like, oh, your bushes, they look like they need some trimming. Would you like me to do that for some money? And she's like, no, that's fine. And he mentions that he's in the next town over, which is really weird because he doesn't have a car or bike or, what's he doing in a different city asking to mow people's lawns? It was just really weird. And so Debbie thinks that maybe this guy is a drug addict and that's why he's doing all this work to try and get money for his fix or whatever. But anyway, every other day, this guy keeps coming back. Trying to get work. Mow the lawn, trim the bushes, take care of the flowers, whatever. And it's just so weird. What? He doesn't ring the doorbell like a normal person would. He spams it. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. And the whole story about getting hit by a car, going to the hospital, how he lives in the next city over. If you ask me, it's probably just lies. It just doesn't add up. But yeah, to this day, it's only been a few weeks, but every other day, he keeps coming back asking for work. If you want my theory, I think this guy's an alien, and he's just trying to fit in with the human race. So that's pretty much the end of his story at this point, guys. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.